Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Tuesday Craft Day. Well, today we're up in the craft room and we're going to be working on a sign. And the sign I'm planning to use on a wreath that I'm going to make Friday. And it's going to be a fused mesh ruffle. Excuse me, my nose is itching. I don't know what that means. Am I going to have a fight or something? Anyway. I may fight with the sign, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm planning to make a fused mesh ruffle wreath using a regular 1524 form from Craft Outlet. I had a whole roll of purple mesh, purple poly burlap left, and I have a roll of a bright pink mesh. So I thought if I fused the two of those together, they would make really pretty ruffles. So I want to make a sign. It will be like a summary wreath, obviously. I'm going to make a sign to go in the middle of it. And I'm going to try to bring in some of the pink and the purple, and we'll see what happens. Using my Cricut today. Now, if you remember, I broke my Cricut Explore Air 2. I didn't have it pulled out far enough from the wall, and I usually do, and I just didn't do it that day. And the mat jammed against the wall and broke a piece off from under the carriage. And it happened to be the piece that reads the print and cut. So I can't use that feature. It does still cut fine. I can still use design space. I just can't print and cut. However, I had already planned that on June 10th, the new Cricuts are coming out. And there'll be a Cricut Explore Air 3, and there'll be a Cricut Maker 3. And I'm planning to buy the Cricut Maker 3. It's about $100 difference between the two. They both can do all the basics, and they both have some new features. But I've never had a maker before, and I thought here's the opportunity if I'm going to buy a new machine to buy the top of the line and use it for some other kinds of projects. Even making cards with, you can deboss paper and make beautiful patterns on cards, not cardstock, well, some kinds of cardstock, and make beautiful cards that way. Or you can cut your vinyl, or you can make your signs or whatever. So I'm going to be looking forward to that, and I'll take you on that journey with me. Now I know that a great many of you out here who watch my channel are particularly interested in wreaths, and some only interested in wreaths. And I'm not going to stop making wreaths, but I am going to be doing some Cricut projects in between so that I can learn the machine. And I already have one in mind that will combine a Cricut project with making wreaths. So maybe we'll work on that one. I don't know if it'll be first, because I don't want to jump into something like that without having any experience. But anyway and anyhow, so that's what's happening. So today I used my Cricut Air 2 and cut some vinyl, and I'm going to make a sign for the wreath that we're going to make on Friday. So I'll start you by showing you how I get the board ready. I will take you into Design Space, and I'll show you the sign that I designed, and then we'll put it all together. So I'll be back in a minute. Hang in there. Okay, I started out with a board. This is from the Woodpile group at Hobby Lobby. This one is 5.25 this way and 12 inches this way. And I painted it all with one coat of like a cream colored paint, just as kind of a primer. It was funny because when it dried, there was almost no difference front to back. Now I've taken my ruler and I've made lines at 1 3/4 inches. And these lines I can erase with one of these erasers afterwards. But I want to be able to tape off to paint this 3 different colors. So I want to get the line as straight as possible. And I will do the bottom one at the same time. Add a different color. But then we'll have to do just the middle one after those two dry. That doesn't look quite straight. Let me measure this, remeasure this. Yeah, that's a little bit wider here. I'm going to erase these both and then put a new one on. There we go. That looks better. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is to paint this one green, this one purple, and this one will be pink when I get to it. I'll get my paints out. I'll be right back. And that brush is not very good. I think we'll get rid of it. And I'm going to do 2 coats. I'm trying to get the edges too. That's a pretty green. I like green. Green is one of my favorite colors. Okay. I didn't get good coverage in here with that first brush. Alright, we'll let that dry and give it a second coat. Right back, and we'll put the purple on. Ooh, pretty. Whoop, get over there. waiting for drying time, and I'll be back. All right, now I'm in Design Space, and you can see what I am planning here. Not sure that's the same shade of pink, but I'm not worried about that. I did this basically to see how I could line up the images. Now what I did is I looked for an image, cocktail glasses, and it gave me these three. And then I duplicated them, 1, 2, 3. Then what I did is I took and grouped them all. So these are all one piece. If I move that, you can see they move as one piece, okay? But it allowed me to spread them out a little further on the board. And then I just picked out a cute little kind of funny font, and that is called Chris Hallmark, and wrote it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Now I'm going to be fusing pink and purple. This is not the right shade of pink. Let's see if I can get it a little bit different. Still not what I'm looking for. And you see you can play with that. Oh, that's close. That's closer, yeah. You can play with this on that advanced color wheel and change it to all kinds of colors while you've got it highlighted. You see that you highlight it, go up to the top of this little purple square, and it shows you what colors you're using right up top here. All right, so that's so you can always tell if you want to make something the same color. If I wanted to do another piece that's this exact color, that's the color that is up at the top here. Now, the one that has a check mark is the one I have highlighted. You see, if I highlight the green and go, then the green has a check mark. So that's what my sign is going to look like, hopefully, when we finish. And I'm going to cut everything out of vinyl. This is going to be white vinyl, and this are going to be black vinyl, because I think that will show up the best on the sign. So the next thing I'm going to do is hit the word make it. And it's going to think for a minute, I guess. Sometimes it goes faster than others. Now, if you look at what happened here, it put all of these cups on the mat, but it lined them up, the same cup, all the way through. So I'm going to move them, because you can move things on your mat. So let me just get these out of the way. And in order to be lining up my vinyl correctly, okay, I'm going to set these cups right on this line, which is the 2-inch line. You see the 2 over here, okay? And that will allow me to get my vinyl lined up correctly. Put this one down just to here. Oh, there we go. All right, so now we'll go back to the beginning. And this one. And this one. And this one. this one, and this one. Now, let me see. That is approximately 7.5 inches wide. You can see it goes out to here, 7.5 inches. And I can spread them out a little bit if I want it to go a little bigger. And I think I might just put this out to 8, because that'll give me 2 inches on each side. So you still have time to manipulate these images once you've got your mats. But I wanted to start at 1. Let's go back here a little bit. There. That looks pretty good. So I am going to now cut that out of the white vinyl. And let's just look at this one. Now, all I want to do here is move this somewhere down a little bit, because that way I can probably cut the whole thing out and put it on at the same time. If I can't, I want to leave enough space between them that I can manipulate the vinyl in here. And of course, these 3 mats I'm not cutting out, because that's actually just what I was using to get my mats ready. Okay? So I am going to continue, and it will tell me to turn my machine on, and I will load my vinyl, get it cut, and I'll meet you back here at the desk. Back in a minute. So there you go. Isn't this pretty board? Came out nice. And what I did is I put a layer of Mod Podge on the top, and just to kind of protect it a little bit. This is not going outside. Now I have the glasses that are going to go up here. Here's what happened. Well, it didn't happen yet. These are really outlines, just little outlines, and I didn't really want them outlines, so I didn't weed it. And I'm going to see if I can transfer it and leave them solid without the middle being weeded out. It looks like it might work, because I thought they would show up more. All right, let's see what's happening here. All right. Now what I'm going to take, I don't have a little Cricut thing. I'm going to get one. But I use the end of my bone folder. It seems to work pretty well. See if we can get that off of there. Here we go. Oh, I don't want it to weed it. It wants to weed it. No, it might end up weeding it by itself. I'm going to try to keep it on. Got one. And if it ends up weeding it, that's okay too. I just was trying to do it this way. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of backwards to you. Now this is just going to take me a little longer to get off, trying to keep it from weeding itself. Looking pretty good. I'll continue, and when I get towards the end, I'll be back, so you don't have to watch this whole process. There you go. Look at that. Now, if I decide I want to use just the outlines, I can still weed them right here. I mean, they're on there good. But if I used my X-Acto knife, I could probably weed them. But I like they show up more if it sees the whole glass. Alright, so now we're going to do the words. And let me see. Let me cut this. Goodness. And we take this transfer. Oh well, first we'll take this off. This transfer tape is really good. Oop. Now we get this on the transfer tape. And I'm going to trim the top of this transfer tape so that it's not pulling on the ones above it. See? Okay. Now we'll burnish them good. Oh, like the butter. Oop. There we go. Oop. Gotta burnish them a little better than that, I think. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now we're gonna just I'm gonna put this over here because I can use that again. And we'll get this one separated. We're on a roll. Here we go. My card does not want to come off. We're going to make it though. We can fix it. It looks like part of the R may not have cut. Let's just see if we can fix that. A little blurb in the machine, I guess. We will get it. Let me get this off my finger. It keeps getting stuck on there. Aha! Look at that. Believe it or not, we got it. Well, that was a little work. But you know, you just don't give up. It'll come around. And I could always cut it over again if I had to. But as long as we can make it work. Now I'm just going to give this a little shush here. Now I'll put my transfer tape on. I love the way this transfer tape pulls those letters off. It does a wonderful job. and there's our little R, just perfect. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put it right back on here, because I can use that again. Now I'm going to take this piece and just give it a little bit of a push, make sure everything's smoothed out and pretty, and there you go. What a cute sign. I love it. And the purple and pink wreath it'll go on will be down and by our bar area. Perfect. Here we go. Ready for Friday. So, I'll be right back with a couple of closing remarks. So there you go. I think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I'll use it on Friday in my fused mesh ruffle wreath. I think it's going to be pretty. Now, I'm using, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using poly burlap and mesh, deco mesh. Poly burlap doesn't really lend itself to outside. But I'm not using this wreath outside. I'm going to use it down. Actually, it'll go on the door that goes into where I make my wreaths. And so I think it'll be just perfect for down there. Pretty and colorful, and tell everybody it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Have a cocktail or an iced tea. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. We had a little bit of a glitch with my R, but we worked it out. It takes just a little patience sometimes. There must have been a little teeny piece of that R that didn't cut clean, and it was just not releasing from the rest of the R. So that's when you can use your craft scissors with very fine points and get in there and fix it. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you again on Friday when we make the wreath. Until then, I want everybody to stay safe, play by the rules, wash your hands, wear your mask if appropriate, have a great week, and I'll see you Friday. Everybody play nice now. Love you. Bye-bye.